What's going on, everybody? It's Wired here, and I'm back with a very interesting article about a Vermont Christian school who is barred from future tournaments after forfeiting the game against not wanting to play against a trans student or a biological male. Now, I give these young women I say they have a lot of courage, a lot of conviction, and they're basically taking a stand saying, hey, we don't want to compete against somebody who is a biological male for risks of our health, our safety, risk of advantage, yada, yada, yada. And of course, because of that, they're receiving a lot of backlash. They're receiving a lot of, well, this can't possibly be. This is bigoted. This is transphobia, blah, 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 blah. When they're really just asking for a risk of their safety. But without further ado, I'm going to play a little clip for you real quick. About a news article. They probably explain it a lot better than I can. So take a look.
School banned from all state-run activities and athletics with other schools in Vermont.
Today, the Vermont Principals Association issued a letter to Mid-Vermont Christian School announcing the decision after the girls' basketball team refused to play against an opponent with a transgender student athlete. Channel 3's Christina Guessford joins us live now from the newsroom. Christina, you have the letter. What does it say?
Kat, on February 21st, the White River Junction-based school was scheduled to play Long Trail, a small co-ed college prep school in Dorset. This letter says forfeiting that Division IV playoff game violates VPA policies, which they say align with state law. Those policies, the first and second on the list of rules, commitment to racial gender fair and disability awareness, and policy on gender identity, respectively. This means the Eagles are ineligible to compete in all Vermont sports or interscholastic activities from now on. Mid-Vermont Christian's head of school, Vicki Fogg, justified the move in a statement to the Valley News, writing, quote, "We withdrew from the tournament because we believe playing against an opponent with a biological male jeopardizes the fairness of the game and the safety of our players." She continues, quote, "Allowing biological males to participate in women's sports sets a bad precedent for the future of women's sports in general." Fogg's rationale, the VPA says, is another reason why executive leadership today made this decision. Live in the newsroom, Christina Guessford, Channel 3 News.
So I'd like to ask, just for anyone listening, please understand the actual connotations of this decision, as it not only affects the girls' basketball team, but it somehow appears to be all sports at the school as a whole. And that means every athlete in this school is being penalized because the basketball team, the girls' basketball team, refuses to compete against a biological male. And we've seen this play out time and time and time again. And the ramifications are either women get schooled on or they get hurt. But you don't need to take my word for it. Take a look.
A biological male has just become the first transgender person to win a world title in cycling.
First transgender weightlifter winning her maiden international event as a woman.
A biological male winning a gold medal in a women's event now seems a matter of when, not if.
This clip comes courtesy of the Hodge twins. It's a volleyball match. I know it's a little blurry, but just watch with what happens here.
Transgender gonna spike the ball in the girl's face. Here it comes. God! Man, you see her head go back? Yeah, I mean the footage is blurry. Yeah, show it again. Man, they gotta see it again. No, show it one more time. Did you see the force where that ball hit in the face? Yeah. Look. Did you see that?
And that young lady was, I think, hospitalized for about a month with a concussion for receiving a spike from a biological man. This is goes beyond gender ideology. This is about safe spaces for women. It's about feeling comfortable, and I applaud these young women in Vermont for what they've done. If I scroll down here a little bit, this woman right here, I do not know her name. I'm going to play a little bit of the clip. We'll see her name. She competed against
and that's
Leah Thomas
for the leadership of
and lost in the swimming competition because, obviously, biological men.
Tuberville is also putting forth
and she's Riley Gaines. Riley Gaines is her name. Very strong young woman speaking out about trans issues. But how she's felt uncomfortable, her and her fellow swimmers felt uncomfortable in the locker room space. and they don't feel like they should be competing against biological men. And I totally agree. And a lot of people are going to say, well, that's very transphobic. I don't think it is. No, I don't. I don't understand why women can't have their own locker rooms, have their own sports teams. If you want to be inclusive, do that. But don't act like because somebody identifies as a woman, they're automatically going to be in the same body as a woman. That's not going to happen. I think South Park can do this better than me. Hold on. Give me a second here.
Feel to be competing today.
I can't tell you how free I feel now that I've started identifying as a woman.
So, yeah, you can obviously see the problem here. Let's get into the article. A Vermont Christian school that forfeited a game in the girls' state basketball playoffs because its opponent had a transgender student on the team's roster will be prohibited from participating in future tournaments, the sport's governing association in the state said Monday. The Vermont Principals Association, the VPA, ruled that Mid-Vermont Christian School had violated policies and is ineligible to participate in the future tournaments that is sanctions. The move applies to all sports. The VPA again reiterates its ongoing support of transgender student athletes as not only a part of building an inclusive and community for each student to grow and thrive, but also a clear expectation by Vermont state laws in the agency of blah, 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 and the VPA blah, 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 regarding transgender student athletes, the governing body said in a statement. And again, my only question is going to be here. You want to support transgender students so much, which I don't really have a problem with, except for the whole transitioning thing before the age of 18, which I do have a problem with. Why do you not create your own leagues for them? Why can transgender people not have their own sports leagues? Why can they not have their own locker rooms? Why do they have to encroach on women's spaces? If this was the other way, if it was a trans man, woman, I don't know the terminology. If it was a woman transitioning into a man, this would never happen. This is not a thing for women transitioning into men. It doesn't exist. But for men transitioning into women, then they can just dominate sports. And we're supposed to be okay with this. Never in my life have I been a feminist. Never. And now, oddly enough, just from using my common sense brain, I am more okay with the feminist rhetoric, at least of this era, than I've ever been. I'm okay with women having equal rights, equal pay, being able to vote. Everything a man can do, I think a woman should be able to do, completely. However, there is a separation with biological differences. And if you want to dispute that, then you're living in Looney Tunes world. I applaud these young girls. I hope there's no backlash for them. Stand by your convictions. Don't put up with this stuff. Live your truth, which is the truth. Anyway, that's all I got. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to see you all in the next one. Thank you for listening. And support the women in your life, because they're being overtaken by men. Later.